All right, welcome to the second quarter of the Doc and GM NBA recap show. Doc, first quarter we went over the West, but I skipped a team because my list was bad. So quickly, San Antonio, they are currently what number in the West?
9.
Okay, so the question I had for you is it they're sneaking up on everybody now? They're quietly going to be a good team again in the playoff picture? Or, as I mentioned at the beginning of the season, I think they've lost too much as far as the heart and soul.
They'll be in the playoffs.
They'll be in the playoffs? You had them in there. I still, man, they're climbing up a little bit. I'm going to stick by my guns and say still out just because, again, too much heart and soul. But that's a pop coach-led team. So I'm probably delusional in that anyway.
Yeah, man.
All right, so quickly, second quarter, East time. All right, so I got a couple of questions for the Eastern teams.
East side.
Okay, number one is Toronto.
Yep.
Basically, what's up with them? 5-5 in their last 10. They lost to Philly tonight without Kawhi, mind you.
That's what's up with them.
Okay. And so I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that they were the class of the East. 5-5 in their last 10. That's not very classy. So I guess I'm chewing a little goat here, man, or whatever.
All right. They're still pretty good.
Still pretty good. Now,
Number one in the East.
Yeah. Now I read a report that Coach Nurse said that beginning January, I think, Kawhi's going to begin playing back-to-backs.
Is that right?
Yeah, I read that today. So that's going to be positive for them.
Wow. I didn't even realize he wasn't playing back-to-backs.
Well, not always. I mean, he's not playing. Yeah, he didn't play tonight. All right, so Milwaukee, excuse me, is number 2.
Yeah.
7-3 in their last 10.
Yes.
They lost one. Must have been tonight because they beat Boston last night.
Yeah,
they breaks off Boston last night.
They did.
So they must have lost tonight. Are they the new class of the East, or is that a thing?
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing. Okay.
They lost to the Heat tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. I guess. Well, I don't know. The Heat's are up and coming because they were. I got Heat questions for you too. But so the Bucks, no such thing as the class of the East, but solid into not surprising.
No, they're solid contender to get out of the East.
To get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sneaky.
Solid.
A lot of people are kind of sneaky forgetting them.
Yeah. And number 2.
Yeah.
With that Coach Bud offense. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the same thing, chip us against the world. Nobody thinks about us. Nobody's talking about us. Yeah. But come to our gym and play us if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Philly has been 3 for quite some time.
Yeah.
6-4 in their last 10. 2-game winning streak. They had a little speed bump with the Joel pouting. Was he pouting? Mm-hmm. Jimmy injury. Took him a while to get back. How are they looking to you? Them being Philly, of course.
Strong.
Wow, strong. Yeah, they had a strong win tonight, as we mentioned, against Toronto. Kawhi-less, but still strong nonetheless, you're saying.
Very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another strong contender to get out of the East.
Okay. Indy. The question I have for you, are they legit? Because they're currently 4, right?
Yeah.
Or is it second round and out for them, kind of as per usual?
That's about as legit as it gets for them, yes.
Wow. Now, I tend to agree with you, but I would just love for a shakeup. Because, I mean, they have as many wins almost. I mean, they have just 1 win shy of Philly.
Right.
Philly's 22.
Just as many as Denver, so play with that.
Wow, he said play with that. See, wow, we talked about it before. How much power shifting there has been east to west.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've never talked about in the last few years, for sure, where the team with the most wins is in the East.
In the East,
and
right.
you definitely never said in the last few years where the 4th place team in the East has as many wins as the 1st place team in the East.
Yeah.
So, I remember we argued a few weeks ago whether or not the East was, the West disappointing.
Right.
So, fill me in on that before we go to the rest of the...
I'm going to say this about that.
All right.
In the East, there are like 5 strong teams, and they are feasting on those weak teams. The rest of the conference is weak, and they're just feasting on them. Meanwhile, in the West, everybody strong 1 through 14, and they're beating each other up. So you're going to take even if you're the number one team in the West, you're going to take a few more bumps and bruises and L's than you will.
Okay, but I'll argue this though. That's always been
right.
Hold tight. That's always been where the West kind of beats up on each other, and it's a shark tank mentality. If you can make it out of there, you made it out of there, and you're a good solid team. Mm-hmm. But in the past, it was the reason why the Eastern Conference teams have more wins, I think, than the Western Conference teams, is because in the past, the West, when they left the West and came East, or the East came to the West, they just murked those guys, and they're not. There's no murking it, like there's not the heavy murk that it used to be.
What's that? The West against the East?
Yes. Where again,
once again, because that's the 5 top guys are really strong, and then. Let me finish.
Okay,
and then you edge on down, and it's still your Charlottes, your Detroits, your Miamis. They're gonna play you tough. Even Orlando, and lately Brooklyn has been hot.
Yes.
You're gonna catch some. Yeah, you're gonna catch some things.
So it's not just a function of the top. Like you say, it's the Charlotte, it's the middle. The top's gonna give you a run.
Okay, but even comparatively though, like the bottom 5 teams in the East are much worse than the bottom 5 teams in the West. And see, that's where your Torontos and whatnot in the East are going to have an easier night than a Denver's going to have with Minnesota. That's not necessarily an easy night for them.
That'll help you win total. That'll help you win total.
So, yeah.
All right, so moving on. We left at Indy, right?
Yep.
So what? Wow, Boston at 5, if my math is correct?
Yep, they're hanging tight in that 5 spot. They're snuggling into that.
The question I wanted to ask is, they're 7-3 in their last 10.
Right.
But
they've lost 3.
That 3 is a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah.
They had their second players-only team meeting, closed door, and we've always said that's never been possible. You've never, you know what I mean, right?
I've never heard a team say, "Yeah, we turned it around after that players-only meeting." That's never been said in history of basketball. I don't think.
You asked me pre-show production, were there any injuries? I didn't realize Al Horford was out.
Yeah,
he's missed the last 7 games, but he's due back. Break down Boston for me. Where 5, it's definitely not where we predicted them at the beginning of the season.
Right, they started off slow. I think very slow, but then they've been one of the hottest teams in basketball since I think they started 10-10, and since then they've been the hottest team. So, one
of the hottest teams because they're not hot right now. With a 3-game losing streak,
record-wise, they're still hot because they had a 7-game winning streak going into that. So record-wise, they're still one of the hottest teams. Currently, they're not that hot.
Right.
But there's something going on there, obviously. When you start having players-only meetings, multiple. That's usually not a good sign of something that's going on in the locker room, or I don't know what that's all about. They keep it kind of quiet, which is good on them, but it speaks volumes nonetheless, because that's not a typical thing.
Needless to say, most people hate to be wrong. And for me, I love to be right, and I'm hoping that I'm right in my prediction that there's just too much talent in that locker room, and that could be part of it.
Well, somebody could be disgruntled in there.
All right, so we'll move on. Just under them, I have the Charlotte Hornets.
Yep.
A game over 500. Big ups to them. As a matter of fact, big ups to them. And I was going to say big ups because. We talked about there's going to be 2 or 3 teams in the East that are up for grabs,
right?
And big up to them for grabbing.
Yeah,
they seem to be right.
Yeah, they've been in the playoffs just maybe 2 years ago. So
right.
they're ready. And Kimba's an all-star. He's a legit all-star.
They can just get him some help.
Yeah, man.
Just get him a little help,
Mike, I'm telling you, man, help him out.
Okay, so Jen, just after them is. I guess struggling for sure with 2-8 in their last 10. Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
Do they? You are what your record is, which is the 500 team. Well, that'll hold water in the East, though, right? To get you in 8th spot.
Should do.
Yeah, that'll get you in 8th spot.
Yeah, they're where they need to be.
Wow. So if they matched up against the Bucks, Merc City Bucks all the way.
Oh yeah.
So in the 8th spot, trending up big time,
Yeah.
is the Miami Heat.
4-game win streak.
Surprisingly, another injury. Dragic.
He's hurt?
I think he had surgery.
Oh, my.
Yeah, look that up real quick. Yeah, I think he had surgery. He's hurt. So yeah, he's definitely they're playing well without what most people thought was their best player.
He will undergo a right knee scope on Wednesday.
Okay, get ready to
There
have surgery.
is no initial timetable.
Right.
That being said, Dion Waiters has been cleared for full contact.
Wow.
And from what I hear, he has a chip on his shoulder currently. So
he's always had a chip on his shoulder.
That's why I like him. Come
It's
on back, Dion.
It's been reported that he punched Kyrie in the locker room, right?
Man, he wanted that ball.
Both of them wanted it.
Yeah, exactly. Created
Yeah.
friction.
Yeah, both of them wanted it.
I like Dion Waiters. I hope he comes back and plays well.
All right, so bringing up the others, you got Orlando,
Yeah.
Is it Brooklyn after Orlando?
Yep.
And then the Wizards?
And the Wizards.
Any of those teams have the moxie, have the wherewithal to be able to move up into that spot? I thought the Wizards would, but and with a 2-game losing streak and 4-6 in your last 10.
And after making a trade trying to get better, no, I don't think they make it up.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Doesn't
I'm
look
off
good for
that
them.
chain, man. I'm kind of mad at them for that, too.
Doesn't look good for them. Because, matter of fact, you got on and off real in about a week's time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty funny. All right, so that's
I've
the
seen
East.
enough.
Yeah, no, most people have. I mean, it's going to take something dramatic.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Ernie made that trade, and
It's like, hey,
it's not panning out so far.
it's the coach. I don't know what else to tell them, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's part of the locker room, too, but coaching's bad there, too.
Yeah. All right, well, that's the East, man.
True story. Shout out to the Hawks.
Wow. Are you serious?
Heck yeah, man.
Why? Well, I guess because they're your home team.
There you go.
They're not playing very well.
They're coming along. Trust the process.
Okay.